Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mary and Michelle and Dee and Linda. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope that everybody finds me okay. This is just a little bit different, but like I said in the post that I had earlier, I have spent way too many hours trying to figure out why I'm not able to post on Facebook. And I've spent money on my ManyCam. My ManyCam allows me to have a lot of different things going at the same time and not have to do everything on my phone and then flip my phone. My phone is all set. I just click a button and I go to it. And so I've spent the money on that. I've learned how to use the program. And if it's not going to work with Facebook, I'm just trying to find a place where it works. So here we are on YouTube. So thank you all for joining me. It looks like people are still hopping on. I'm going to go ahead and start with some of the fun mail that I received. Good morning, Lori, Betty, and Sandy. I received this beautiful Easter card from Mary Van Domlin. Mary's on here this morning. Isn't that gorgeous with the two-tone floral? And then I also received this beautiful Easter card from Linda. She's also on, and it was a thank you for a gift that she received. And then I also, good morning, Karen and Shanna, received this beautiful thank you from Tammy Litsky for some, I think she won a prize for sharing my video. So I'm going to set those back there. I am going to do a couple of things today. We are going to give away prizes, and then we are also going to do our drawing for those who took part in the challenge from last week. And then I'm going to make my 3 cards. And then after I make the 3 cards, I'm going to pull out the new colors. So some colors that are coming back, some colors that are new. And I'm also going to take my color coach. So Stampin' Up! Provides this color coach. I printed this, cut it apart, and put it on a little ring. And I think I can share that with you as well. But what it does is it gives me some suggestions of colors that I can put together, because I'm not really good with that. Good morning, Amanda. And so I'm going to pull some of their suggestions so that you can see some of the colors that we currently have that are going to go nicely with some of the colors that are coming back or some of the colors that are new. So I hope that that all makes sense. And if you don't care about that stuff, I decided to do it at the end so you can just turn off. If you can't stay the entire time but you want to see that, you could go ahead and come back and watch that part later and fast forward through everything. So let's go ahead and give away some prizes before we start stamping. So last week we had our challenge, which was a technique challenge. So it was the scrappy strips. So we made this card with the butterfly. This one used the floating strips because we used that little window sheet behind there. And then this one was a fun fold that used it. It pops up and sits like that. Okay, and we used some of the colors that are going to be retiring. And if you've checked it all on Facebook, I know I haven't gone. I've only seen a couple of demonstrators who have made comments that a lot of the colors are sold out already. And I know that some of the ink refills also are. So receiving these for commenting is Linda Munoz, I think maybe Munes. Munes. If you could send me a private message with your address, I will get these in the mail to you. I don't have your address. This is your first time winning. Woohoo! And then for sharing. So if you hit share and you share this with anybody else, you also get entered into a drawing. Please comment like Shanna just did that she shared so that, and you can do it here, you can do it on Facebook. I'm going to check both. You can also get entered into a drawing. I have a dimensional back on the back of here. Got stuck underneath here. So winning some of these beautiful glassy dots, and these are not retiring. There's Pool Party, Melon Mambo, Daffodil Delight, and Gorgeous Grape. So all those colors are staying. is Karen Wetstein, and I do have your address, Karen, so I will get these out in the mail to you. Thank you for all of you who shared. And then for placing order, we had a lot of people. Good morning, Becky Whitty. We had a lot, or I think it's Beck Whitty, sorry. We had a lot of people who got up early, or my phone kept dinging that I had orders on Tuesday when the Last Chance products went on. And let me tell you, I placed a huge order, but I also had a whole bunch of stuff that I had earned. I want to say like $200 and some for free, so that was kind of nice. But receiving this kind and sincere, this has like a really big congratulations, and then it has different things that you can put in small text underneath it, is Becky Weisky. So Becky, I will get this in the mail to you. I do have your address because you placed an order. All right, that's what we have for that. Now, let me get all of the names in here. I should have done this first so that if I missed anyone, you could put a comment. I have Lynn Eben, who submitted a picture to me via text, and I put it in for her so you could see it. Shanna Roberts. Diane Hermson also sent it via text, and I put hers in. Make sure I don't have any sticking together. Kelly Wildenberg. Tammy Litsky. Mary Linsmeyer. Karen Roofing. Diane Van Grull. Michelle Jones. I think I saw Michelle on here. Amanda Shabo. I see you on here, Amanda. I think I said good morning to you. Sandy Calloway's on here. And Mary Van Domlin's on here. If I missed you, I'm going to give it just a second. Please make sure that you comment that I missed you. So for those of you that are wondering what did she miss? If you made a picture using the Scrappy strips, and posted it on Facebook for others to be able to see your beautiful designs and get some ideas, you are entered into a drawing to win the bundle of your choice. Now, the winner can choose either a bundle that's current right now, and if it's something that's going to be retiring as a bundle but it's staying, that's fine too. It has to be something that is still available though. And then if you want to wait until May because there's a bundle that you want from the new catalog, you can also do that. I got my new catalog yesterday. Actually, I'll bring it out when I do the paper. I'll let you see the cover. I can't open it up, unfortunately. If you have purchased from me in the past year, you will also be getting a copy of the catalog from me. And if you are one of my demonstrators, you should be getting yours in the mail too if you haven't already. Good morning, Barbara. Okay, I don't see anybody else that said that they put a thing in and I missed it, a card in and I missed it. So I'm mixing these up really good. And I'm going to grab one. Okay, good morning, Amanda and Sandy. And the winner is Mary Van Domlin. So Mary, congratulations. I will connect with you to see what bundle you would like to have for free. Mary also had a birthday this last week, so happy birthday to you. So congratulations, and thank you all who participated. And it just is kind of fun to see other people's take on the same technique. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to flip to my phone and we are going to start stamping. All right, here we are. And this, I love this little paper like this to stamp on and have as a scrap paper because this really isn't a piece of wood that's down below me. It's actually a little mat that I can pull up. But I'm always afraid that I'm going to get something on here. So it's nice to have, instead of a big sheet, just have this little one. And unfortunately, this is sold out because they are retiring. I wish that they weren't, but so it goes. All right, I have to make a little room here for my, there we go. All right, I think I have enough room here now. All right, we are going to start by doing a fun fold, and this is going to be our SIP card, stamp, ink, and paper only. I didn't use any die cutting. We're not using any punches. Nope, we're not using any punches on this one. So I'm going to cut and score this together with you. This is some balmy blue. I'm actually going to turn off my overhead lights. I'm seeing a lot of shadows. There we go, that's better. Okay, no shadows. All right, this is an 8.5 by 11 balmy blue, and I'm going to cut and score this with you to show you. You will use almost this entire sheet. Okay. Also, we're going to be using some of this. This is in the mini catalog. This is special and exclusive Hostess paper. You have to be Hostess in order to get this, or use Hostess dollars, or spend $150 and earn Hostess dollars. But this is 5 inches by 12, and I'm also going to show you how we're going to cut that to maximize it. I have a piece of that for our envelope. I have some sweet sorbet. I think that's what this is. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I have this basic white, which is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I have this, which is 1 7/8 by 3 3/4. Everything else that we need for this card is going to come from our cutting and scoring that we're going to be doing on this sheet of paper. Now I made these, this one I think I made on Thursday. The others I made yesterday. I had the day off yesterday. It was fabulous. And I'm going to show you all of my layouts today came from cards that I made for my card buffet, which I have next week. So next week I'm going to be coming to you in the afternoon rather than in the morning, because I do have a card buffet in the morning. Okay, so to start out with, it says on this 8.5 by 11, on the 8.5 inch side this is, I need to cut just shy of 4 inches. And that will make sense when we do something later. So I'm going to start with, whoops, I got a little bit of white in here. I think that's my typing paper from cutting apart your names. Okay, so I'm going to go just shy. So there's my 4 inches. I want to not even 3 11 or 17 sixteenths, but I want to go just before, oops. Sorry about that. I don't know how quickly I got it, but anytime somebody tries to call me, I noticed, I think that's what it is. I have Do Not Disturb on, but it's still, for some reason, even though I have Do Not Disturb on, it knocks me out of this program. So somebody just tried calling me. How dare they during my Facebook Live, right? Okay, so just shy of 4, I'm going to get my scoring tool out of there and I'm going to cut that. Okay, then I'm going to cut it at 10 1/2. Well, this is 11 inches, so that means I just have to cut off a 1/2 inch. So I'm measuring off a 1/2 inch here, and I'm just cutting this 1/2 inch off. That's going to be a little bit of scrap. Okay, then I'm going to score it at 5 1/4. So there's my 5 1/4. Make sure I use my scoring tool. Okay, so this is 4, it ends up being 4 by 5 1/4, not 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is what we normally have. Okay, then with what I have left, I have to cut at 2 1/2 inches, and this one I want to actually go right up to 2 1/2. It doesn't have to be shy of 2 1/2, but it's going to go right to 2 1/2. Now, before I cut this, what I want to do is I just want to slide it over to our 1/2 inch here, and I want to use my scoring blade, and I want to score that. Right? Now these I have to cut at 5 1/4, and I'm going to cut 2 of them. So I've got 5 1/4, and it does say, yes, I'm going 5 1/4. I'm going to go like right before that line again, and I'll explain why when I get there too. So I'm going to 5 1/4, but I'm not like hitting the line. It's like right before the line. There we go. Okay, so those are those two. And then this has a 2 inch strip, and all I have to do is cut something that's 3 3/4 inches off of that. So there's 3 3/4. This is the only scrap that I have left from that 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Okay, so I needed all of that for this card. I'm going to get my trimmer out of the way. We'll bring it back for a card that we're doing later. I will get all of these typed up to you after I'm done. I should have some time today. I know I still have to do last week's as well. I'm going to pull all of these off, and I'm learning I have to put them in the bucket because at the end of my Facebook Live last week, I had little stickers all over the place and they weren't even all together. So I'm putting that back in my bucket for this one. All right, we are going to go ahead and do some stamping before, oh, you know what? I didn't cut this. Darn it. I do have to bring this back. All right, so I have, all right, good. This is 5 by 12, and on the 12-inch side, we're going to cut at 3 3/4, and we're going to cut so that we have, let me think here a second. Okay, 3 3/4, and then 4 of them at 1 3/4. So I'm going to cut this at 3 3/4. So there's my 3 3/4. So, whoops, get the scoring tool out of there. I'm going to cut, and then I need 4 of them at 1 3/4. So there's 1 3/4. There's number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So all I have left is this little 1-inch piece. Now, if you wanted to, you could cut this and put it on something if you wanted to. I don't really need that right now, so I'm just going to set that aside. Right now, I'm going to get my paper trimmer out of the way, and now we will do some stamping. Goodness gracious. All right, so we are going to take our 2 basic white layers, and this is what we're going to stamp on. And what I decided I wanted to use was this Simply Fabulous stamp set. I mentioned I think when I did my Facebook Live, when I was going through what was retiring, I mentioned that this is one of my favorite sets. I just love this. It's so easy to work with it. So we are going to use this today for our card. Now, I came up with this because I have to, I'm on a committee to plan a retreat, and one of the ladies on the retreat is having a small surgery. I think it's an outpatient surgery, but it's something anytime you have to go in for any sort of surgery, it can kind of be scary. And last year, the theme of our retreat was Count It All Joy, that even in the hardships of our life, we have to think of the joy and so I thought that There Is Beauty in Everything kind of fit because she's kind of struggling right now. And so it was kind of a nice message I thought that I could send to her. So I'm using my Sweet Sorbet for the greeting. And like I said, I'm using the There Is Beauty in Everything. And I'm going to go ahead and stand up so that I can look over the top of my phone here. And I'm going to stamp that off to the right. Boy, I did a really nice job of getting that all inked up. I'm going to press and hold it so that it all inks in, but I definitely don't want to rock because I got a lot of ink on my stamp there. All right, I'm done with the Sweet Sorbet, so I'm going to go ahead and close that. And now I'm bringing in some Starry Sky. And I know that leaves are not, or stems are not blue, but I'm going with the colors that are in here. I thought about bringing in Shaded Spruce because that's in there. But I really liked the Starry Sky. And I'm going to, this is going to be the inside, and I'm going to stamp that on the inside as well. Right, and then they have these really fun little, they almost look like they're heart-shaped, that are flowers that fit right in those buds. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Balmy Blue. That was the other color that we picked, or that I picked for this. And I'm going to line those up over the buds. Look at how cute that is. Okay, and so I'm done with my stamping. And I'm going to put my ink away. And now it's time to put this fun fold all together because we have everything that we need stamped. Don't need that. Okay, we are going to create a card that has a double fold. So we've got the fold that opens up like this, but we want to have a fold that is going to open up on the inside and have like a gate fold once you open this top flap up. So what we need to do is, with any fun fold, is you really need to give all of these a good crease. So I like to use my bone folder. Some of you who have been to a Million Pampered Chef parties and you have those little scrapers for their stones, those work really well as a makeshift bone folder if you need it. You can use your finger if you want, just I'm always afraid I'm going to get a paper cut because I would. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to, and the reason I wanted this to be just shy of 4 inches, this is going to set on here. However, because this is going to come out on this side, and this is going to be on this side, it is going to, I mean, as tight as you can make that, see how it still just sticks out just, I don't know if you can see that, but it sticks out just a hair. And so I found that if I wanted this to be evenly spaced all the way around when I put it on the sweet sorbet, that I had to go just shy of 4 inches for this little bit that sticks out on the edge. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to just use liquid glue. You could use tear and tape if you want. With tear and tape, I think I've mentioned this a lot. It's once you put it down, it's down. You can't like move things around. And you may need to. I like to, for this fold, I like to set it like this so that I know I'm getting it all the way up to the edge. And the reason I said go a little shy of 5 1/4, you still want this to be able to close. Okay, so by going shy of 5 1/4, I wasn't worried about hitting right where that score line is. Okay, now we're going to put our other one on the other side. And the reason I didn't make this the base of my card, and I have this going on the sweet sorbet, is because, whoops, see what I mean about having a little wiggle room? It wasn't all the way down to the bottom. There we go. Now this doesn't come all the way to the center. It comes pretty close, but if you go 1/8 of an inch more, they overlap, and you don't want them to overlap. Okay, so the reason I have this sweet sorbet layer and I made this 4 inches by 5 1/4 is because otherwise you're going to see this. And if to do all the cutting and the, whoa, I have a little bit of glue that came through here when I ripped that off. I might have to wait until it dries. But if I would have to cut and score and do all of that, it's just kind of a pain. This is just an easy way to put this card together. All right, we are going to take that. This is going to go on the front. All right. And then we have those 4 strips that we cut. Now, I wanted to put 2 strips here and 2 strips here. If you only want to put the ones that are on the front part of it, you can do that. It's entirely up to you. I just thought it looked really nice to have these strips. And if you wanted to put a different pattern on the inside than you had on the outside, you could do that as well. If you think, oh, I don't know that I want that much floral, that is fine too. Whoops. And with this piece that was left, this goes a certain way, but you could always put something there. You could put it on, if it didn't have a certain direction, this one was going the wrong direction. So I decided to just stamp something down in my corner, and I wanted a lot of space to write because I know I want to write a letter or a note. But if you don't have a lot that you need to write, you could always put a greeting on the inside with the sweet sorbet or a different color. Okay. Now I also want these on here. And I didn't really match them. I mean, I didn't keep the papers all together. You could if you wanted the paper all to match. The card that we're going to be doing last, I used strips of paper or designer paper that I'm cutting apart as well. And in that one, I wanted everything to, it had to match up because they're standing really close to each other. But for this, I don't think that it really matters. I just kind of had the strips in any order. Okay. Ooh, look at there. And now, because I have this on here, I can go ahead and attach this to the front. And see how, even though I made that really shy of 4 inches, my border is pretty even all the way around. Okay, so now this flips up and these flip open to open up my card. Oh, just love that. This is going to go on the front here. I'm going to layer this on the 2 inches that was left. And both of these are 3 3/4 inches wide. And it looks like, you know how you can go like right up to the line or you can go just a tad bit over. Looks like one of them might be just a little bit longer. I think it'll be okay because it's butting up. Just want to make sure. There we go. It's going to go just like that. And because this is a little bit thicker because it has the, 2 layers, I'm going to just go ahead, and put this down with liquid glue and not with dimensionals. Okay, I didn't stamp that very straight. I just realized it now when I put it on here because it looks like this is on here crooked, but it's on there straight. I will give you the one that I stamped straight, person who wins. This is some of our sweet sorbet baker's twine. And I decided I want it wrapped all the way around. I could have wrapped it just around that little layer, but I wanted it wrapped around a couple of times. And then I'm going to have it come together. I am going to tie it in a bow, so I like to give myself, especially when I'm on live TV, live YouTube, like to give myself enough string so that I can definitely get that bow without having to struggle too much. And last night, right before I was going to church, so we had Good Friday service at like 1 o'clock, but then we have a special like prayer service at our church at night. It's called Tenebrae, and it's beautiful. But I had to do the tech for that, and right before I left, I somehow ripped off my thumbnail, and it was like throbbing when I left. I was like, oh my gosh, I am in so much pain. I think I'm going to tie this in a knot first, only because it's hard for me to use that thumb because it has no nail at all right now on the side, and it is painful still. So the worst is when nails pull off, and I don't even know what I hooked it on. I was opening up a pack of our envelopes, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, and I got a nail clippers to see if I could just clip a portion off, and it was still, like it was kept catching on something. I'm like, no, I got to give way and I got to cut this all off here. So I cut a big chunk of it off right on the side, and there's skin right there. It's so painful. All right, that is going to go there. And I am going to take just a glue dot. Betty, nice ideas for getting the most. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I always like to get, if I'm going to make a fun fold and it requires a lot of layers, I like to find the way that I can not have to waste a lot of paper and get the most out of the paper. That's always important to me. All right, so there we go. And now it's a springy little card. I felt like it just needed maybe some butterflies. So I have some of our brass butterflies, and just going to pull one of these off here. And we'll put one up in that corner, and we'll put a couple over by the flowers. Let's see, we'll put one there, and maybe down in here we'll put a little one somewhere. There we go. So there's beauty in everything. Look at the beautiful flowers and the butterflies, and then we open it up and we have a nice area to write a note or stamp a greeting, whatever you prefer. All right, the one that I made for all of the cards today are fun folds that I will have in my card buffet next weekend. So this is the one that I made for my card buffet next weekend. This is using some of that Country Lane, I think it's called. This is new ribbon, Petal Pink new ribbon from the catalog, a little sneak peek. But this one opens up as a birthday. Okay, so a couple of different takes on it. This one uses our stitched or stylish shapes, and it also has petal pink. Oh, this one didn't have petal pink. Another one we're doing later has petal pink, but this features our mint macaron, which is retiring. All right, I'm going to put that back so that I know that that's card number 4 for next week. All right, let's do our envelope to match our designer paper. Now you might think that this paper was really busy, but the paper really does all of the work for you. So you don't have to do a lot of stamping. All we did was stamp a greeting and a little bit of, floral image on it to match the colors that we had. And the paper did all of it. Now, if you wanted to, instead of using that much designer paper, you could always use some stamps and you could create your own designer paper, doing like a one sheet wonder type thing where you just stamp, you could stamp a whole bunch of images and petals and things like that, and then you could make your paper that way as well. So there is our card number 1. There is beauty in everything. All right, and so I will set that aside, get rid of bucket number 1, and we'll grab, let's see here, bucket number 2, which is also going to be a fun fold. And this one is going to feature, and I don't know, here I have it on my desk yet from yesterday. This is going to be featuring the Best Butterfly stamp set, which is also retiring. So I'm trying to use some of these sets before they retire. Let me tell you though, I have boxes all over the floor in my stamp room right now because my new order came in and I had to have a spot for everything. So I pulled everything that's retiring, colors, ink pads, all of that kind of stuff, stamp sets. I have those all in boxes, and so I was able to put away the new stuff that I got because I was like, okay, I can't have all of this stuff mixed. It's just going to drive me crazy. All right, this is another fun fold, and I don't know what this one's named. It's kind of like a gatefold, but it's kind of like an interlocking gatefold with panels. I don't know exactly, but this is Fresh Freesia, which is not going away. It's staying. Thank you for sharing, Barbara. Good morning, Cheryl. 5 1/4 by 11, and I scored this at 1 3/4 and 3 1/2 from both ends of the 11-inch side. Okay, I have a piece of Calypso Coral, and now I wouldn't have put these together, but the designer paper that we're using has those colors together, so that's what I opted for. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Again, we're going to be putting something on top of a layer just like we did in the last card. All right, this is 3 3/4 by 5 inch. That's going to be our inside. I have 3 panels that are 1 3/4 inches by 4. Okay, so that is these 3 panels here. That's also in Fresh Freesia. I have 3 panels of this designer paper. Now this was the one where it matters. You want to keep it together so that your pattern, your paper isn't jumping all over. So this would go this way is how I cut it. So this measures 3 3/4 this way, and then each of those are 1 5/8. And then I did cut off, I believe, a little 3/8 inch piece. Ooh, I don't see that. I thought I did for the inside. Yeah, I should have one for the inside. If I have to, I'll grab another piece and cut that. So that is what that looks like. And then each one of those is 1 5/8 inch. So it's just 1/8 of an inch more. I'm going to keep these in order. And then I have, this is 2 7/8 by 2 1/8 and 3 by 2 1/4. So these are just going to layer. And this is also some of that designer series paper. It has just a little bit of Parakeet Party. I thought it just added a little bit. I'm going to take all of these off so that, and put them in the bucket so that I know these sticky notes all go together when I go to type this up. And I also have, you can kind of see this here, I used some of this shimmer paper that is Fresh Freesia. This is retiring. I don't know if it's left or not, but I cut out one of the butterflies from the dies from that bundle. Looks like I have one thing here. And so that is that. And we're also going to be using some of the iridescent rhinestones. Those kind of take on whatever color you're using them with. So thank you, Amanda, for sharing. Well, I'm good. I'm glad that you're loving the fun folds. I love fun folds too, so I like to as often as I can. We just have a little bit of stamping to do on this one. I'm just going to put a greeting actually on, this is designer paper, but I'm going to put a greeting right on it. I'm going to stamp on it because it's just like little polka dots. I don't know if you can see that, but it was nicer than having just all Parakeet Party. So I'm going to, this is from the, what's the name of that stamp set? Here I have it out yet. Biggest Wish. Biggest Wish. I needed some thank you notes, and so I decided, let's make a thank you card. And I need to write on the inside, so I'm leaving the inside blank, but you could find another greeting. Now, when I stamp this, I want to stamp it a little bit down and to the right because I need to save room to put this butterfly on there. So I'm going to stamp it about right there. Okay, and that is in the Calypso Coral ink. Right, this one is less about the stamping and more about the fun folds and using the paper, actually. The last one we have a little bit more stamping to do. All right, we are ready to put this together. So this is going to go on top of there. Look at that. Those butterflies, the dies don't cut those out, but you could fussy cut those out. And they are just so pretty. All right, and I'm going to add this to that, but I'll just do that a little bit later. Let's go put our fold together. So again, make sure I'm keeping these in the right order. They are. This is for my envelope. I do have a little strip. Goodness, I must have a little strip that's left up here somewhere when I did this yesterday. I don't have everything put away yet. Here we go. I can cut a little strip off of this. I know I did cut a strip because I cut them at the same time. But here's a little strip of that butterfly paper. We'll just attach a little bit to the bottom. because I don't know where mine went. And I don't think I did it this thick, but that's all right. We'll just do it. This was 5/8. I think I might have done 3/8 or a half. Okay, and then we'll just trim that off. Then we have that ready to go when we're ready for it. Okay, next, this fold. All right, we're going to, you can kind of see that this is the size of a regular card, and so we're going to fold those in together. So I'm going to fold on those, and then I'm going to fold the other one back. Okay, and I'm going to fold in to get the right size, and then I'm going to fold back. Okay, what we're going to do then is we are going to attach these panels. These panels, one is going to go here. I do not have this cut right. This is not cut right. Let me see if I forgot to take off. Let me look at the dimensions. Sorry, ladies. All of a sudden I'm putting it together and I'm like, that is not right. Good thing I left all my little notes here. 5 1/4 by 11, scored at 1 3/4 and 3 1/2 on both ends. Let me just look here. Let me cut again. 5 1/4 by 11. So 5 1/4. Let me bring it in here. We'll cut it together. 5 1/4 by 11. I hope I didn't write anything down wrong. I was doing this right before I went to church yesterday afternoon. Okay, so 1 3/4, 1 3/4, and 3 1/2, and then 1 3/4. For some reason, I'm thinking it's 3 3/4. That is still too big. Okay, let me measure it. Oh my goodness, sorry ladies. It really is not difficult to do if you've got the right dimensions. I obviously wrote down the wrong dimensions. Let me get a ruler here. I have a ruler. And let's measure. Maybe it's not 11 inches. Maybe I was supposed to cut something off of it. Nope, it's 11. Right, it's 11 inches. And it's scored at 1 3/4 and 3 1/2, and 1 3/4 and 3 1/2. Oh, this is right. I must have had the other one wrong. This one looks like it's right. Okay. Goodness gracious. Just want to see if these are going to match up. These have to go the whole width. I maybe cut these wrong. Nope, they're right. Okay, this is right now. Oh, goodness. Talk about having a hot flash. Thanks for sticking with me. Sometimes it helps, though, when I make a mistake. I always say that with the kids in school. If you make a mistake, then you learn something from your mistake. I don't know what I scored that other one at, but it wasn't. What was happening is these panels were not going all the way across, and they have to go all the way across when this is closed. And so I knew it was wrong because it was coming up short like that. All right, so they have to go all the way across. Whew. Okay, now you saw my card, but that's okay. I needed to measure to make sure that I wasn't losing my mind. Okay. For these, it's best to attach the top and the bottom one first and then do the middle one. So you only want to adhere it on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and add some liquid glue just on the left side. And I want to make sure that this top matches up with the top and this side matches up with the left side. So I'm going to go ahead and set that in there. And I'm sorry if my head's getting in there. I'm going to have to pull this up so that I can see it. Okay, so that has to go right there, right? This one is also going to be glued only on the left side. And again, now I'm matching up the bottom and the left side. Okay, and then this one is going to go in the middle. It's going to get sandwiched between the two of them, but it is only going to be glued on the right side. So in between where those two strips are, I'm going to go ahead and put my glue and then slide this so that it goes all the way to the side. Just like that. So that when I pull it, see how that slides into place? All right, it really is not as difficult as I made that look. Okay, now my pieces, again, I want to keep them in order because they all stand together. I'm going to start with the middle one. And the reason I'm going to start with the middle one is because I want to center that one. The other two are not going to necessarily be centered. I'm going to have a bigger, they're going to go all the way down to the bottom and all the way down to the top so that that paper is as close together as possible. So let's go ahead. I'm going to close it. I'm going to center from left to right and from top to bottom, but that border is not going to be the same on the right and left as it is on the top and bottom. The top and bottom is going to be, you can kind of see, just a little bit shorter border than it is on the right and the left. Okay, then the top one is going to go all the way down. Let me open this up. It's going to go all the way down to the edge of that border so that the border on the right and the left and the top are the same. So there's no border on that one. And then we want to line up the right and left. So we want it to be closed when we put it together or when we glue it on there, because we need to know where it goes right and left so that it matches up with that paper. I'm probably not explaining that maybe the best, but hopefully you understand. Thanks for sharing, Robin. Good morning, Kay. Thanks for sharing. All right, and then our bottom one is going to match up. Again, we're going to close it all the way, and we're going to go all the way up to the top, and then we're going to line it up right and left. Whoa. Your glue is not dry. You can't move it around. You don't want to move it around when it's still that dry. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, so that opens like so. All right, and then this is going to go on our inside. And I didn't stamp anything. Like I said, this is a thank you. So if I decide that there's something I need to put on the inside, I can. Otherwise, it's there for me to write a message to the person. And then this whole thing is going to go on this Calypso coral layer to give it a little bit more strength. So I'm going to go ahead, just like we did with that last one. We're going to use our moving piece, our fun fold part, and we're just going to glue it all down to a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 base. This one you want to make sure you get it a good, there we go. Okay, so, oops, it opens like that. All right, this greeting, now you can do one of two things. I'm going to show you the one that I did for my card buffet because I did that one differently. Actually, this one was designed by Diane Bogenhagen, who is another demonstrator from Fond du Lac. So this uses so the greeting that we used for this one was taller. And so for this one, I put the top and the bottom. I attached the paper to the top and the bottom. Mine on this one is not as wide. I didn't want to make it wider just to fit this area because I really wanted to see all of this designer paper. So for mine, I put dimensionals just in this middle part so that it's open on the top and it can still slide back in. Okay, so I'm going to put my dimensionals, and I actually, when I made this one, I put the dimensionals down like so. Oh, my thumb, it just hurts, that nail. Okay, I'm going to close it up, and then I'm going to center it and press that down. Okay, so that slides right in there. Kind of cool, right? Ah! All right, then our butterfly, we're going to put up here, but I wanted to make that a little more three-dimensional, so I'm going to go ahead and give that a little bend, and I'm only going to put glue on the body of the butterfly. Okay, and that glimmer paper is just so glimmery. Love it. And then to add to that glimmer, we are going to use some of these iridescent gems. We've got 3 different sizes. I think I'm going to put the medium-sized one. Ooh, I got blurry all of a sudden. Is it really blurry? No, I think it got better. Okay. I'm going to put this right in the center of that. It is blurry. Is yours blurry or is it just me? I think it's just maybe when I move too much. I don't know. All of a sudden I looked up and I'm like, that's really blurry. And I'm going to put a couple of these in some of the spaces where we don't have as much going on. Okay, so there is our thanks. We open it up and we have a place to write a message, and then this just slides, these 2 panels slide right back in there. There we go. All right, so that is, I don't know if it's interlocking, 3-panel interlocking, I don't know what it's called, but it does kind of interlock. And it uses designer paper, and like I said, here's the other one that I made. I copied this from Diane Bogenhagen, and that's going to be card number 5 for my card buffet. All right, that is card number 2. Oh, let's do an envelope here real quick. Go ahead and throw some of that designer paper on there. Okay, how's everyone doing? Oh, thanks, Kay. Thanks, Linda. Yeah. Okay, Betty, good. It was all good there. Maybe it was just my iPad was making it blurry. It seemed like every time I was moving my arms, it got super blurry. But when I look at my computer where I'm watching myself on my Minicam, it didn't look blurry there at all. Okay, so there is our card number 2 with our fun folds. So we got 2 fun folds. Our last one is going to be more of a layout, and I am going to need this. Okay, not sure what I cut that other one at, so At least I know that I wasn't losing my mind, that I wrote the right dimensions down, because as I was cutting them yesterday, I was writing the dimensions down, so I was all ready to go. So I thought, how could I have made that big of a mistake? All right, next card is going to be using the Season of Chic, which this is not retiring. It does have a bunch of dies for all different seasons. You can notice that I have the seashells out right now because we're going to be using those because that's kind of the season. We're kind of entering into like the summer. We're going to have like a beachy theme. The paper, however, that goes with this is retiring. So that's why I wanted to do this. So we have some Petal Pink, 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. So it's just a regular size card base. This is for our envelope. I have 4 by 5 1/4, which will be on the inside. This is soft suede. This is going to be going away, but it was in this paper, so I wanted to use it. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. This is the designer paper, 3 3/4 by 5. This is a little 1/2 inch by 4 inches of the designer paper. And then this is going to be for our greeting. This is 3/4 of an inch by 2.5. Or you could just stamp it on a strip and then cut around it, because I'll be honest with you, that's what I did. And look at this one, how I didn't have a strap last time. Now I've got 2 for this one. Go figure. All right, I brought my trimmer in here because you are going to have to do some trimming. So what you're going to do with this piece, this paper is way too pretty on the back and on the front to not use both sides. So we're going to be using a technique that's really easy to use both sides. So I'm going to start by cutting from one corner to the other corner on the diagonal. So I'm just putting the corner in my track so that I go from corner to corner. And I'm just going to cut that. Then what I want to do is I want to keep holding it together. So I don't want it to come apart. It has to stay together, or I have to at least force it together when I go to do the next cut. Okay, because see how I moved it a little bit? So I'm going to, again, make sure that this is together. Go put corner to corner. So get your corner in the track. Make sure your paper is put back together the way it was to start out with before you cut it. Okay, corner to corner. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut that too. All right, I'm going to get my trimmer out of here. We got 4 pieces. And this is what we're going to put together on this layer of soft suede, which is going away. Okay, now I took this apart, so let's see if we can put it back together. So this was like this. So I'm going to use the seashells on this side and here, and then I'm going to flip this, and I'm going to use that other fun side. Okay, there. Oh, isn't that going to look pretty? I'm so excited. I loved how this card came together. I just kind of was playing yesterday, and I'm like, okay, what do I want to use so that we can do this layout? And I'll show you one that I'm going to use in my card buffet that uses this layout too. So sometimes I get on a roll. It's like, okay, I don't want to use the same cards in my card buffet that I do here because I want the ladies to have something different. Sometimes they request it. All left-handed as I had answered you. Oh gosh, Mary, oh, I hope that you're doing well. Yeah, this YouTube, so what you have to do in order to comment is you have to go to up in the corner where it says my channel or something like that, and you have to actually sign in using an account. So you have to put in like your email account so that you can comment. You can watch all you want, but you're not able to comment unless you have an account and you're signed into your account. Okay, and then put these in. All right, and then the other side. So like I was saying, sometimes the ladies will say, could you do that one for Card Buffet, because they see something that they really like, and some of them will make that comment, and then I'll listen to that. But normally what I like to do is some different cards, so that I think I flipped these around by mistake. So I want to make sure that they go back together. Oh, my neighbor's leaving. Can you hear his truck? Definitely needs a new muffler. It has for a while. All right. It's a kid. He's like 19 years old and he lives with his mom and dad. And every time he starts it up, I'm like, oh yeah. He's probably got his boat hooked up and he's probably going fishing. He's such a good kid. Okay. So it's okay that these don't come together as nicely as my sample did. I think I flipped the papers when I was talking, and yeah. So this is just going to be attached to the front. We're going to be covering all of that up, so we'll be good. Okay, yep, it works. You don't have to keep gunning it. Sounds good. I don't know if you can hear his truck or not, but it's really, really loud. All right, that's going to go there. Then we have to do some stamping. Actually, let's add this to here. Oh, and now he turned it off and he didn't even go anywhere. Imagine that. Just wanted to make sure it worked. Make sure I could get it started. All right, and then I'm going to put this on the inside. This is going to be a thinking of you card, and the reason I did not put a greeting on the inside is because for thinking of you, I never know what I'm going to use it for. I might use it for sympathy. I might use it for a get well. I might use it for somebody's just going through a hard time, and I just want to I find a stamp that says something about giving someone a hug. It kind of can vary. So, all right, now let's do some stamping, and we're going to do some die cutting as well. I'm going to be using the seashell that's in there, and I am going to bring over my chamois. I don't know what color I stamped on it last and if I cleaned it after I did that. So I do want to make sure that I clean it good, because we're going to stamp this in a couple of different colors. So of course we're going to do a petal pink. And look at that. It's kind of like one of those distinctive stamps that it's just gorgeous. All right. And then my chamois here, I'll clean that off. And don't know where my scrap paper went, but I'll stamp this twice. So I'm going to stamp it once, and then again. I like to just a little bit lighter than the first one. And then we have our greeting that we have to stamp. So we have this here, and this one I think I'm probably going to have to stand up for to get it straight, because I cut myself a tiny strip here that it fits in. Looks pretty good. All right, I'm going to put these stamps away. Now we also have, and I did this already for us, through the magic of TV, we have a die that will cut those. Let me quickly close these, or I'm going to put one of these right inside of there. Okay, so I have a die that can cut those out, which, like I said, through the magic of TV, I have done that already. Whoops, you got a sneak peek of the other one too. We also have some detailed dies that I cut out of this distressed gold paper that was kind of with this, and that is not retiring. So this DSP is retiring, but the distressed gold is sticking around. Yeah, Kate, I love using both sides of the DSP, especially when it goes so nicely together like these do. So I'm going to set this aside because I think I'm going to make another one of these cards because I really like how this one turned out. And I always need thinking of you cards. Those are the ones that it's like, okay, I need it like right now. And I don't have time to waste on it. Okay, so what we're going to do with this is I'm going to kind of put this gold in that. This I kind of played with a lot yesterday. And then this is going to go over kind of the top of it like that. All right, so you can kind of see where I'm going with all of this. And we're also going to bring in some of this gold cord. And we're going to put some of that weaved in there as well. So let's start with this bigger seashell. I'm just going to find a few bigger places to throw a little bit of glue. I don't want it to ooze out on me. And my brown is showing up here a little bit in between, which I'm not real crazy about. I think I accidentally somehow flipped the two sides. Somehow I maybe didn't go right corner to corner. I'm not putting any of this up on dimensionals because I'm going to end up putting the greeting up on dimensionals. So I didn't want to put any of this other stuff up because then it ends up getting way too tall, way too high. Okay, and then this, I thought about putting the gold pieces that came out back into it, or at least some of them, but then I kind of liked how it just kind of stuck out the end there. Okay, our greeting's going to go about right there. I'm liking how that looks. I'm going to just take and tie a really big bow with this cord and with baker's twine. I find it easier to do that whole, just adding a little bit of ribbon if I do this. Let's see, let's pull this a little smaller. We'll cut that there. I might just cut a little of this tail off. I'm just going to take some Scotch tape and just tape that in the back. Just like so. Oh, I have it going the opposite way that I wanted it to. Let's do it this way. There we go. Just because I don't know. It's just the way I had done it. Okay, and then that's going to just go right there. And I'm going to trim those up just a little bit. I'm going to throw some dimensionals on either end. Because that ribbon is kind of thick. Not thick, but it's just a little cord, but and I think I want this on this side of the dimensional. There we go. And let's make it just a little bit shorter. There we go. And there is our Thinking of You card. And again, I can add a different greeting if I want on the inside. For my card buffet, we're using that same layout where you cut in half to do this motorcycle card. Right on, it's your birthday. Classic, authentic you since forever. So that's card number 6 in my card buffet. All right, let's go ahead and add something for our envelope. So you're getting to see one layout, 2 fun folds, and how I took something that I had done for something else and just recreated it with a completely different DSP and stamp set. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring all 3 cards back in. So we have our Thinking of You that has our technique. Oh, you know what we have to do is we have to add some bling on there. I didn't do that. Here we go. We had those pearls, those flat pearls that I thought would look perfect on here. So I ended up just putting a couple of these around. Okay, there we go. Now we've got some pearls on there as well. All right, now that card's done. I'll bring the other ones in. So we've got the one that is a layout that we could use. We have our fun fold with our interlocking panels. And we have, whoops, I gotta come down a little bit. Can't see it up there. We have our double opening, gatefold and top flap opening. So those are our 3 cards for today. And if you were just interested in the cards and you don't care about the new paper, feel free to just hop off. If you have something else you have to do, I completely get that too. But I wanted to bring in and show you some of our new paper. And let me get this out of my way here because I'm going to. So these right here are in colors. I'm going to do those last. So I'm going to set those over there. These are our new core colors. And what I did, look at that rainbow of colors. These are our colors that we have right now that are returning. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to go through, we have a color coach that gives us some ideas to put together with some of the new colors so that you can see some of the new colors. So the first one that I'm bringing in here, oh, anyone know what this one is? I just love this one. This is the Lemon Lolly. So this is the first of, if we look in the rainbow colors, it's the first rainbow color that would be new. And so if I look at my color coach with the Lemon Lolly, some of the things that they're suggesting to go with it are Petal Pink and Calypso Coral. So what do you think of that color combination? Lemon Lolly with Petal Pink and Calypso Coral. I kind of like that. All right. Then if I put these back, the next thing that they recommend is soft sea foam. I just took strips of some of this stuff along with Pool Party and Lemon Lolly. So here's Pool Party. Ooh, I like that. Oh, I just love that together. Okay, so that's Lemon Lolly, soft sea foam. Put that back in by my greens. And Pool Party is in by the blues. Lemon Lolly with Fresh Freesia. And that Fresh Freesia is a new, so let me grab that because it's technically considered new. Fresh Freesia and Gorgeous Grape. Ooh, I like that. I'm thinking that Pansy stamp set that we have with these 3 colors would be absolutely wonderful. All right, so that's Fresh Freesia and Gorgeous Grape together. All right, I got to put the Fresh Freesia back in here. Okay, so that's Lemon Lolly. Next in our rainbow of colors would be the Lemon Lime Twist. So let me find that. Here's our Lemon Lime Twist. And they're recommending Melon Mambo and another in color that's Blueberry Bushel. So let's bring our Blueberry Bushel in here. Let me grab it. Hang tight. There we go. Ooh, fun colors. Fun birthday, bright. Okay, I like that. All right, so let me put the fresh freesia back, put the blueberry bushel back. Next, they are recommending Poppy Parade and Gorgeous Grape with it. Okay, again, really bright colors. I like that together. All right, Azure Afternoon. I love that name. Okay, and Night of Navy. I don't think I have a Night of Navy in here. Let me grab a Night of Navy. I thought it was weird when I was going through my colors that I didn't have Night of Navy. There's Night of Navy. Ooh, that is pretty. That is sharp looking. I like that together. All right, so that is our lemon lime twist. Let me, now none of these have any of the in colors because the in colors do retire. So let me put the Afternoon Azure, or Azure Afternoon. All right, so that's number 2. Then the next one, if we go in order of our rainbow palette, would be our, coming back to us is our Pretty Peacock. So they are recommending pecan pie, and this combination I thought looked a lot like the combination that I made for that sympathy card last week. Okay, I used Evening Evergreen, and I used Evening Evergreen, Soft Suede, and Sahara Sand. This is just a little bit like that combination. All right, and then we have Calypso Coral. Ooh, I wouldn't put these colors together. So these are artists that put these together, and our Petal Pink. Ooh, not bad. I do like that together. They do a nice job. I can't ever figure out what colors I should put together. All right, and Melon Mambo. I use their combinations all the time because I am not good at figuring out color combinations. Okay, Gray Granite and Melon Mambo. That's really different. What is it? Did I miss it? Where did you get the color combo recommendations? I will post this. I think you can print it. I think I can post it. It's on our demonstrator website, and I just printed this on thick white cardstock, and it had little lines for me to cut, and then I just got one of those little rings, and I put a hole in the center of it, and so that I have it just to kind of sit by my desk. I will post that later this afternoon. Thanks for asking that, Amanda. I will definitely do that for you. Let me see. I'm getting my stuff all out of order here, which is not that big of a deal, but I like to kind of keep it in rainbow colors because then I know sort of where to grab from. All right, so Pretty Peacock. Next is Lost Lagoon, which is also coming back. And Lost Lagoon is kind of one of those colors. It's the color like right after the greens and into the blues. And Pretty Peacock is like that too. They're recommending Berry Burst. Oh, here it comes. I love Berry Burst. Berry Burst and Blackberry Bliss. Okay, so that's in our violets. Ooh, look at that. Look how rich that is. You know, like Berry Burst it's like a bright pink, but it's a really rich, bright pink. Instead of in the brights, I would put it more in our Regals because it is like really, I don't know. Like I said, it's a rich color. I like that color combination. These people know what they're doing. They're artists. See, I have such a hard time figuring all of that out. So I always refer to this. Okay, pumpkin pie. I would not put pumpkin pie with that, but look at that. It's not bad. And then Daffodil Delight. Oh, maybe fall. I'm thinking fall colors. All right, and then we have, let me put this back with my oranges, and this back with my yellows. Somehow this pink got out of there with the reds and oranges. There we go. Okay, Pretty Peacock, which we just did, along with Calypso Coral. Ooh, that is nice. This kind of reminds me a little bit of Soft Succulent along with Evening Evergreen, right? Like that combination together. And then, but this one's a little bit more blue, I guess, than the Soft Succulent was. All right. Next we have Midnight. What is it called? I'm just going to put these back. Misty Moonlight with our blues. So Coastal Cabana, Pool Party, Balmy Blue, Tahitian Tide. This is what they were recommending as a rainbow color. Oh, actually, I should have Azure first. Azure Afternoon, and then Misty Moonlight. Okay, it's telling me Daffodil Delight. Ooh, nice. Along with Pumpkin Pie. Look at how bright that is. Oh, I'm thinking a boy baby card. Oh, yes, I love that together. All right, then we've got, let me get these back in here. Lemon Lolly. Lemon Lolly, that was the first one that we did. Ooh, look at that. I like that already, along with Pool Party. Nice. Yes, love that. And then we have Calypso Coral. Sorry, this is taking me a little bit. Along with Crushed Curry. Okay, so this is, notice how this is an orange and a yellow, and then this is just like a different shade of orange and a different shade of yellow going with it. Depending on what you like, I guess. Okay, I think I liked the first one better than the one with the Calypso Coral, but I'm sure what some of you are saying, that was my favorite. So it kind of depends on what your taste is. All right, I was afraid this was going to happen. This is kind of taking me a little bit longer, but that's okay. You're getting to see the colors. Okay, Misty Moonlight is next. Okay, Misty Moonlight, they're saying Pecan Pie and Old Olive. Ooh, that's very rich looking, right? Very, very rich looking. Okay, or another combination would be Flirty Flamingo and Petal Pink. Ooh, I like that. What do you think of that one? I think that one's really, really nice looking. All right, and then the next thing that they have is Granny Apple Green. Here we go. Along with Poppy Parade. Ooh, that's nice too. That looks like a young kid's birthday card to me. I don't know, just fun colors. All right, put these back with my greens. All right, so that's our Misty Moonlight. Next we have Blueberry Bushel. I'll come back to the in colors. So Blueberry Bushel. And we've got Granny Apple Green and Real Red. Kind of like that last combination a little bit. You know, the last one I think had Poppy Parade, and then it had the Misty Moonlight, so though two of those reds and blues were a little bit more muted, where these are a little bit more bright. Okay, and then we've got Balmy Blue. I love Balmy Blue with so many of our blues. Oh, look at that, yes. And with Smoky Slate. There's our Smoky Slate. Oh, that is rich looking. Again, baby card for a boy, I'm guessing, would be a nice combination for that. Okay, and then we have Pecan Pie along with Garden Green. First time with Garden Green. Ooh, that's different. I'm not sure if I'm crazy on that one. I'm going to not lie with you on that one. I don't know. I'd have to see maybe with some designer paper that would bring those together. I don't know that I would pair all of that together, but maybe somebody else likes it. I don't know. All right. Next, I've got Fresh Freesia, I think is next. Oh, Berry Burst and then Fresh Freesia. So our Berry Burst. This I'm kind of confused by. Like, I guess Melon Mambo along with crumb cake. Oh, yeah. When you throw the crumb cake in there, I'm thinking Build a Milkshake, right? That would be really, really cute with that, with using the browns or the ice cream cone that's in there and stuff. Cute. All right. Next, we've got Old Olive along with Blueberry Bushel. We just did that one. Okay, I like that. That's very rich looking. And then Coastal Cabana. So we're going to go now to Brights. Daffodil Delight and Coastal Cabana. Ooh, that I like. I am a Brights girl. I love that. I think that looks sharp. Okay, so there is our Berry Burst. Then we've got our Fresh Freesia. Of course, our Highland Heather and our Gorgeous Grape. Those are our three, like, look at that. Oh, love those purples all together. All right. And we also have Pool Party along with Coastal Cabana. I just put the Coastal, here it is. Okay. Ooh, I like that. You know what I think of when I think of this? I did a card a long time ago that had, I think it had Highland Heather and Pool Party and Coastal Cabana, and it had like snowflakes and snowmen. It was a different color for a winter card than your normal red and green. All right, and then we have Smoky Slate, which is right here, along with Basic Gray. Where's my Basic Gray? It should have been the last color. Where did my Basic Gray end up? Let me grab one. I know I had it because I put all the color combinations together yesterday. Kind of looking at them all. Oops, and I don't have a scrap left. So we'll get a whole sheet of Basic Gray now. All right. Ooh, I like that. Okay. So that is our, whoops, and we have one of the ones that I was really looking forward to, and I love how this looks. Here is our Bubble Bath. Okay, Bubble Bath. They're saying Pretty Peacock, and Pool Party. Let me get this gray out of here. Ooh, look at that together. I like that. All right, Crumb Cake and Early Espresso. I just saw it. Okay. Again, I could see like ice cream type thing too. All right, then we've got Lemon Lime Twist and Melon Mambo. Ooh, look at that together. I like that. Let's put it this way though. There we go. Sometimes it matters which order you have them in too, to see if you really like it. Okay, so there's our Bubble Bath. And then we have our Pecan Pie, and they're recommending that. Let me get all of these off to the side here. With Copper Clay, which Copper Clay is one of the in colors. So there's our Copper Clay. And Crumb Cake. Ooh, that's different. Let's put it this way, and I bet it would look better maybe. There we go. Okay, another combination that they're saying is Pumpkin Pie along with Pretty Peacock. Get that Pretty Peacock back out again. Pretty Peacock has gone with a lot of things, don't you think? Look at that. And then Shaded Spruce and Cherry Cobbler. So here's our Shaded Spruce and our Cherry Cobbler. Now this one I was thinking Christmas for sure when I saw this combination together yesterday. Like, ooh, I could see like pine cones and evergreen branches, and I'm thinking that that would be a nice Christmas combination with that pecan pie. Okay, so those are all of the core colors. So when I'm talking about core colors, I'm talking about the 40 colors that fall in our brights, subtles, regals, and neutrals. Then we have our 5 in colors that are coming back, the the Sweet Sorbet and the Parakeet Party, you know, that whole group. Then we have new in colors. So our new in colors, one of them is Copper Clay, and let's go ahead and start with that one. I like all of them. There's one I'm not quite sure of, so I was hoping that by doing this, some of you might be like, ooh, I could see that color combination together. I need a bigger hole for some of these because, okay, Copper Clay, which falls, they have it in our oranges, and I guess sort of. I would have put it more with like the neutrals, but they're saying they had it in with our oranges. So Crushed Curry and Blueberry Bushel. That's nice. All right. Then we've got Old Olive. Here's our Old Olive along with Night of Navy. Ooh, that's very like young boy, birthday card, fishing, you know what I mean? Something like that I could see with that. Okay, Cajun Craze. Oh, and I don't think I got Cajun Craze. Let's grab a Cajun Craze. Which one's Cajun Craze? Here we go. I don't have my light on over there because remember I turned my overhead light off. There's Cajun Craze. Whoops, sorry about that. Whoa, just totally moved that. Sorry, guys. Cajun Craze, and I don't think I grabbed a Mossy Meadow. I didn't look at all these in color combinations together yet. Okay, there we go. I don't know if I'm crazy about that one. What do you think? All right. Then, this is the color. That's Pecan Pie. Okay, this is the one I'm not sure of. Okay, this one they also have in our, I like our orange going into yellow. You know how the Roy G. Biv, it's like kind of orangish going into the yellow. Wild Wheat. So they're pairing it. Let's see if we can get ourselves to like it at all. They're pairing it with Old Olive, or with Old Olive and Blackberry Bliss. Let me get that. I know I have that. Here we go. It's all right. Not my favorite, but it's all right. It's better than that. The other color that you add to it makes it a little bit nicer. Then we've got Berry Burst and Bubble Bath. Let me get the Bubble Bath in here. Okay, so Berry Burst and Bubble Bath make that look much nicer, right? Makes it look much nicer. Okay, then we have the Pecan Pie and Cajun Craze. Okay, I'm thinking like outdoorsy type card, the one with the bear, something like that would look nice with. Okay, so that is our Wild Wheat. Not completely sold on this one yet, but it is in some of the designer series paper, and so maybe pulling in some of the designer series paper and the colors will help with getting me to like that one a little bit more. Boho Blue. We got a little bit of a sneak peek on the Boho Blue when they did the little Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine in Boho Blue. So we got to at least see that a little bit. Let me grab it here. Sorry, I got to get through all the blues here. Misty Moonlight, I think it's right after that. There we go. Boho Blue. I keep knocking my camera. I've got way too much going on here. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so it's saying Petal Pink and there we go. And Lost Lagoon. Let me get that. Holy cow, I've got a mess here now. I started out so nice and organized, and now, ooh, look at that. That's That's unique. I would not have put that together, but I kind of like it. That's kind of cool. All right, fresh freesia and Orchid Oasis. I'm going to grab the Orchid Oasis. Ooh, look at that. That is nice. I do have to say I kind of like that. Okay, let me put this up here. There we go. All right, and then we've got Soft Sea Foam and Old Olive. Where did my Old Olive go? Here we go. Ooh, that's unique. I'm not sure I would put that together, but it actually looks kind of nice together. All right, so that is our Boho Blue. Then we've got our, I think it's Moody Mauve. I don't know all the names yet. So Blackberry Bliss, Berry Burst, yes, Moody Mauve, which I really like this one. I think it's really, look at that. Oh, and they're pairing it with Bubble Bath. So let me grab that. Make sure I grab the right one. The Fresh Freesia and the Bubble Bath are very close to each other. Look at that. Oh, yes. I love that. And then Blackberry Bliss. Here it is. I see it. I like that. I like that combination a lot. Okay, and then Basic Gray and Granny Apple Green. Let me find my Granny Apple Green. Here we go. That's different. I don't know. Unique combination. I don't know. All right. And then we have Petal Pink and Flirty Flamingo. So, goodness gracious, I have a mess here. Flirty Flamingo. Let me get all these big sheets out of here. Here's my Petal Pink. And where did my Flirty Flamingo go? I did have everything kept so well together until here at the end. And everything kind of fell apart. I don't know where the Flirty Flamingo went. Let me grab another one. Ooh, that's different. That is different. I like that. All right, so that's Moody Mauve. And then we have our Pebble Path, which is in kind of with more of our neutral colors. And they're recommending the Boho Blue, so I'll bring that in here, along with the Misty Moonlight. Let me grab that. Ooh, that is a nice combination. Okay, and then they're saying Crumb Cake, along with the Pecan Pie. Let me grab Pecan Pie. That's the Copper Clay. Here's the Pecan Pie. All right, and then the Moody Mauve. So see, some of them you're getting like the Moody Mauve is coming back in again. So you're getting another combination with the Moody Mauve, along with the Old Olive. Here we go. Again, probably depends on what order you put some of these in as to how they would look together. Like that looks better than the first combination that I had with it. All right, so that is our Moody Mauve, or no, that's our Pebble Path, and that's it. We're done. We got them all. So I did take one of the stamp sets, and I used, this had paper that had a lot of the core colors in it. This is a new stamp set that has a 2 3/8 inch circle. And so this is the Bubble Bath with the Berry Burst. And then I took some of the Stampin' Blend markers and I took some of the colors. So we've got Berry Burst, the Afternoon Azure, or Azure Afternoon, the Misty Moonlight, Lost Lagoon, Pretty Peacock, Lemon Lime Twist, the Lemon Lolly, the Bubble Bath, and then more of the Berry Burst at the end, and just kind of colored that in. It's not like a fancy card or anything like that, but I thought it was a nice way to see all of some of those new core colors all together on something. All right, let me come back to you. Oh my gosh, that was a long Facebook Live. I am back. Look at my shirt. Nobody loves me like Jesus. I'm ready for Easter. All right, let me catch up on your comments. Oh, thanks, Michelle. Yeah, the color combinations are awesome. Amanda, I will post the document where you can print this so that you would have it if you want to be able to look at some different color combinations. And like all the new colors except the wild wheat. Yeah, I'm guessing. But the good thing, Cheryl, with the wild wheat, that is an in color. So we only have it for 2 years and it's going away. It's not part of the core colors that they're going to stay for, 5 or 6 years until they do another color refresh again. I'm guessing that won't be one that they bring back. That's just a guess. Most of the people that I've seen have not been super, super excited. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just not my favorite. So anyhow, just a reminder, and I'll remind you during the week that I will be in the afternoon next Saturday because I do have a card buffet in the morning until about 1 o'clock. So I'm planning to go live at 1:30. And other than that, have a wonderful Easter. I hope that you have a great day. I hope that you're able to spend some time with family and friends. And I know that this last couple days I've spent so much of it in church, and tomorrow I'll be in church again in the morning. But then it is such a wonderful time of the year. And so I just pray that your Easter is blessed and that you find time to be with those that you love. So thank you so much for spending part of your Easter weekend with me this morning. And I'll see you next week.